Hey guys, well, the controversy topic that I'm gonna talk about kind of film is Def Jam, which is directed by Judy Life, Lieff. And this film is about her portrayal or her imagery of ASL poetry. So it's like a live documentary of students who take part of ASL poetry, especially ASL Poetry Slam. And she films them portraying it to the audience or just interacting with each other, showing different pieces. But also, one of the controversial things is that I know that we have discussed in classes when ASL poet is doing their poem or acting out their work and you have to translate it to English because we know that ASL when they're acting it out or portraying it, they have so much more emotion, so much more. And then once you translate it to English, you can't capture that same emotion, that same feeling, that same technique from ASL to English. So she talks about that, and she talks about how on a set how to have an interpreter there and having to kind of not have the interpreter really into it and hearing their voices and stuff like that. So that's like controversial. Like the ASL poets kind of lose their voice and the power and the authenticity of their work and trying to translate it to English and getting the English to understand and fully grasp the concept of that. So that's like the controversial issue behind this, but it's good for us to see it from a real life point of view, but just seeing the difficulties it have because like the interpreter can't fully speak to the deaf individual. They can't hear them. You really can't get the clip of them, but they play a main role in ASL poetry, literature, or whatever to get them to hear what we're trying to say or understand from an English point of view. So the interpreters are very important too, but you have to cut them out, and they're really not the spotlight, but they do play a major part into ASL poetry if you allow them to be a part of that too. And so it's just like almost the difference is like just losing their authenticity from both ends, from hearing to ASL, from ASL to hearing. So that's like the big controversial issue. And I know that she talks about the difficulties that she had, and they kind of discuss that too, like just the limitations that they have in the film and just in their portraying their poems to people and stuff like that, and just the different issues that they have. But yeah, so that's my thing. That's my controversial issue.